Hello, everyone. We are your landlords, flooding and tapping out so that you don't have to with the occasional screw. My name is Graham. I go by Hamhocks42 on the internet, and my co-host is none other than Astralsflame. Astros, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ham. I'm doing good. It's a Friday of the week. I just had some pizza. I got my butt
Mm.
trounced by you earlier today, which was kind of disgusting. Never played that deck. I'm kidding. It's a fun deck. But no, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about you, bud?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So it's funny, Astros. Yeah, you're referencing a duel that we had on my stream earlier today, which was a ton of fun. Thank you. But I think you'll appreciate this. One of the things when I'm selecting a deck going into a viewer challenge, I try to keep in mind like, okay, how hard is this person gonna go on me? Like, how good are the decks they're bringing to the table? Because like if somebody's in my chat, if I know they're like a free to play player who's only been playing for a month or two, like the collection's not going to be great. I'm gonna bring something kind of inconsistent so we can have a better match. Um, but I knew like, oh, Astro's gonna be bringing the heat. There's gonna be something good coming. So I brought a Mardu mid-range deck that I'm pretty proud of, and it got a little out of hand.
Just a little bit. I mean, granted, like you had the combo go off, but like despite the combo, hand was good, mana base was there, consistent on the deck. Rata did its thing, and like for those that don't know, I won't spoil the whole details of Ham's deck in the combo, so y'all can see it for yourself sometime. You should totally check out his stream, twitch.tv
Thank you.
slash hamhocks42.
Oh,
Chilling
but
here. Got you. But like there's a Rata brick in the deck, and just shenanigans happen with legendary creatures and Rata. And like I brought to the table a new Rakdos Sacrifice deck I was like playing with. I did get the Weatherlight online. That was kind of sweet. But
absolutely,
was,
Weatherlight's awesome. I'm telling you, that card's legit, and I
it
appreciate that you
is.
were going for it. Yeah,
It's just a little too slow. So, but
yeah.
yeah, no, it was a sick game.
That was fun. Yeah, it was a blast. Yeah, it was. By the way, I am gonna go ahead and spoil it a little bit. It's Ratadribic and Jaxus. Because
Spoiler.
I know that's the spoiler. Because Jaxus did not say you can't copy legendaries, unlike Kiki Jiki. So just gonna put that out there. Feel free to, dear viewer, dear listener, feel free to noodle on that. And if you want to go have fun with it yourself, it's a blast. Just saying. Anyway.
Actually, here's a random topic before we get into our listing.
Ooh,
The
please.
token copies that Rata makes, they're non-legendary token copies, right?
Correct. So you could theoretically copy those with Fable if you wanted to, or other.
Ah.
Yes, you can. Yeah, so the token copies are non-legendary, and so the trick with Retadribic is to have one legend in play and then to like cast out another one or make a copy like a straight legendary copy, because then one of them dies and then you get a token copy that's non-legendary. And obviously, if you do that with Retadribic, if you can create a copy of Retadribic, then you get a non-token copy of Retadribic. Now you have two of them online. So if another one of your legendaries dies, you now get two copies of those legends. Obviously, if you can copy Retadribic over and over and over again, it gets out of hand really fast. To the point where I sacrificed an owl once in our game, spun into two Ellis Ill cores, and created four owl token copies. As a result, it was pretty gross.
It
Yeah.
was very gross. I thought you were gonna like buff your whole board +2/+2 instead of looking at the top three. I was like, this board's gonna kill me.
I mean, that probably, like, honestly, that probably would have been the smarter move, just because, it would have just gotten massive. But I was like, nah, this is more fun. Let's spin, see what we can find.
But I mean, hey, sometimes you have to go for the fun way. And the thing with fun though, like you kind of said, him kind of spoiled what his deck was, which leads into our listing for today. Leaks and spoilers, because oh my goodness, did something drop today we did not expect, nor do I think some of us will really want. There were leaks for Phyrexia. All will be one.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a small leak. We're talking like 15 plus cards. Like, Ham, what's your view on leaks? Like, let's get the take here. What's your view
Yeah,
on leaks, good or bad?
yeah, absolutely. So if I can editorialize, kind of soapbox a little bit, like I want to do when it comes to leaks, I don't like them. I think they're frustrating, and I would rather we not. I don't want to see them. In my opinion, Wizards they've been doing a really good job lately of creating hype and a communal experience in discovering cards kind of at their time frame. You know, the one that I'll go back to last year now, just because it's the 6th of January. So last year when Kamigawa dropped, or just prior to Kamigawa dropping, as part of spoiler season, they released Tameo completed Sage. And that was how Wizards told everyone, oh, by the way, the Phyrexians can get planeswalkers now. And they did it by selecting like a kind-hearted, lovable character. And it's like, oh, they got her. It's like, oh, dang. Because like nobody disliked Tamio. Tamio was great. Like
People loved her. They were like, why did you do this to Tamio? Why Tamio?
Of all the planeswalkers. Yeah, I bet honestly the outcry probably wouldn't have even been as bad if they had done it to like Jace. Uh-oh, my camera's acting up on me. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Like honestly, I think they probably could have hit Jace and it wouldn't have been as bad.
I think people might have been happy if they hit Jace.
That's the thing. Some people would be happy with it. Everyone was sad about Tamio.
Yes, extremely.
Yeah. So it made a powerful moment. Like I remember being on Twitter that day and seeing everybody reacting to that card being spoiled. And that was one individual card that told a story beat and brought us as a community into the world and into that story in a way that was really impactful. Straight up, I have not read any of the articles for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, like the story articles. I haven't. I've been meaning to, but I have a lot to catch up on now because I've been meaning to get to story for a while and a lot more has come out as we go. But I keep track with social media. I listen to a lot of content creators who talk about the story. I engage with the cinematic trailers and all that stuff. So I am aware of what's going on. Like Ajani getting completed, another great, powerful moment. And now going into Phyrexia All Will Be One, we now have 10 planeswalkers, and Wizards did say, hey, by the way, 5 of them are toast. And it's like, oh, like, okay, this is going to be bad. So they told us ahead of time, like, heads up, these are 10, 5 of them are going. Let's see what happens. And I think it was clever how they created a completed artwork for all 10 of them. I feel like that was a way to kind of get around potential leaks, because because people are like, oh, did you see the artwork for Vraska? Holy crap. You could just say like, it's the completed artwork. We know they made that. We still don't know if she was actually completed in the story, but meanwhile, if I were to see like, if I were to see a card that somebody found in, a pack or somebody took a picture of at a printing facility, and violated their, the NDA associated with their employment or whatever the case may be, it cheapens the moment because I have no doubt Wizards plans on revealing those story beats at a very intentional time and probably giving those completed. I have no doubt they had 10 very specific, or 9 because the cost has been previewed, like 9 very specific content creators in mind for each one of those planeswalkers.
Oh, no doubt.
Where they could do preview videos or preview articles explaining the not only the mechanics of that individual card, but also the meaning, why it's meaningful to the story. Well, 8 now, I suppose. They did Kaito as well. So
yeah, did they? Was that?
Yes. Kaito was kind of a New Year's Eve present that they sent everybody. So yeah, we've seen new Kaito. Yep.
Right, but he was not completed. Safe. Yes,
he was not.
Right.
Yes, which leads me to believe this is like, and when it comes to the leaks, I have not participated with any of the leaks. I haven't even seen them. Because the other thing that I find kind of frustrating as somebody who's engaged with the discourse, content creators who are trying to stay in WotC's good fortune or good graces will not discuss leaks, but you can tell who's seen it.
Yeah.
Because of the way they talk about the upcoming set. And I gotta say, if I see another Twitter message saying, okay, I'm not gonna talk about it, but holy crap, that leak from today, like, it's like, you're talking about it. Like,
yeah.
like,
they're not staying silent about it. Like
no.
It kills it.
So it just sucks it out of there. And as a content creator too, it's tricky because I want to talk about my theories about Phyrexia will be one. Like, we have this cool situation where these 10 planeswalkers are like, did they, don't they? But if I'm over here saying, okay, I'm pretty sure Wanderer is going to be completed because Kaito wasn't, and their relationship was interesting. Or if I say like, oh, they might do something with Jason Vraska because there was a romance there. We'll see how that works. Also, like, and I'm throwing out all these predictions over who is or is not going to get completed. If everybody's seen the leaks and already knows except me, then I look like an idiot.
Yeah, because then the community's like, hi, we all know, but we're not saying.
Whatever, dude. Like, you're not giving me anything new here. And so, like, trying to not look at the leaks but then still discuss the new set as though those leaks don't exist, it doesn't work. You can't do it.
No, exactly. So, like, and it hurts a content creator, like you said, because like If you like, let's hypothetically say your thing is Vorthos. You're all about like
Mhm.
legacy, lore, what's been going on, and theorizing what's going on in the future. If let's say in this massive leak, all the 10 planeswalkers were shown. Not saying that they were, I'm not gonna even mention it. But let's just hypothetically say in today's league, all 10 planeswalkers were shown, and you've just recently done a video or content on, hey, these are who I think are being completed, and you just released it, but bam, this leak came out today and entirely kills your entire theory. Like, that hurts you as a content creator, because everything you've just poured in and done your work on, it is meaningless at that point, especially when you've put it out, because people are just gonna be like, oh, what did you make this for? Like, we already know. Like, but you're like, I didn't. And it feels in some way, honestly, with leaks, you're as a content creator, sometimes you're forced to at least be in the know. Not that you have to know all the leaks, but you have to be aware that there are leaks because the things you have to frame about, the things you have to talk about, how you approach a set, especially when making decks closer to the time, we need to be cognizant of what's going on, and like it shapes how we do our work and our content and everything else in like the meta of being an MTG content creator. I'll say that is that there is a meta of being a content creator in Magic, and leaks directly affect how we're going to approach the meta and push out our content, and it negatively impacts it hugely.
Oh, dramatically. Oh, yeah, that's spot on. 100%. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I definitely have, I haven't done it yet, but I've been considering building like explorer decks, including and adding obliterator to it because I have it in my arena collection,
Yes, I
knowing it'll be
am.
coming.
Oh, I am.
Mono black devotion, don't worry, we'll get to that later. But yeah, for right now. Yeah, anyway. Um, yeah, but yeah, exactly. Well, and that's a card we know is coming, and so we can kind of build around it and plan around it and do something with that. And leaks take it to the next level. And yeah, no, there's absolutely a meta as a content creator. I guess I hadn't really considered that, but you're absolutely right. Um,
Yeah, it's a weird thing when you actually like to slightly tie in on like the influence of things. And anything you do, there is always a meta, no matter what. There is a meta in your career of how to succeed. There is a meta in content creation and how to push and stylize the things you do. There's a meta in the games we play. Heck, and I'll end the soapbox here on this one. There was a time for Twitch streamers where there was an entire Twitch stream meta all about doing reacting content. And that was what the top streamers were doing, who could react the best. And there was even one where they were like streaming like live anime, like breaking TOS. And they were like, who's gonna get banned first? Let's do it. And that's like metas get shaped by what's going on, and leaks directly negatively infect the meta of being a Magic content creator and just a negative effect on the community. That being said, I will actually say I do think there are times that there are positive leaks.
hmm,
And
okay,
I
good to
know that sounds
give an
weird.
example.
I could.
Yeah.
So let's say there's a new set coming up, and like, and this is my kind of like theory. I believe that there are unintentional leaks. You know, people that will say, "Hey, I grabbed this product and do it out," because that is natural human curiosity. People want to spread it out. I do also think that there are intentional leaks by Wizards of the Coast for specific cards at specific sets to build up a hype. I don't think they'd ever choose like, you know, the big overarching cards unless it's something that they weren't planning to give to a content creator. But I do think that there are times when certain things are intentionally released as an early leak. And in that kind of aspect, when it's done that way, when like it's a follow-up from the company itself, I think that is a positive leak. So like if there's this random picture, say, going around on Twitter of a new card, and then WotC like 2 days later is like, hey, here's this new card. Did you recognize it? Like, that to me is a positive leak. That's something that builds up the demand. But if it's something like where, you know, negative being, you know, here's this massive cards that someone just didn't take a care of consideration. They just popped it up and shown it up in social media. Like, yeah, that hurts. But no, I do think
Yeah.
there is positive and negative leaks. It all depends on how it's where it's the sources come from and the intent behind it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, and it's also interesting too because it becomes difficult to trust certain leaks. Like certain ones, like there was prior to Dominaria United dropping like a couple months ago, there was a leak of the Phyrexia All Will Be One Elishnorn that
Yes.
went around. And it looked fairly convincing. Like it was pretty good. They did like whoever did it, like I'm assuming I think it was a Photoshop job. Um
So,
or like if they physically printed a card, I mean, good on them because, but it looked good. Like it was convincing, but the ability was very similar to Elishnorn and Grand Cenobite. It was like it had to do with creatures being on the battlefield and some benefit, you know, and like So it was like it kind of matched the theme, but at the same time, I remember even thinking, looking at it, like Wizards wouldn't go back to this well so hard on a character this big. Like they would do something different. You know, it wouldn't be the same, and it didn't feel right. And then it shortly got debunked. You
Mhm.
know, I don't remember exactly how it became known, but and obviously now we've seen the official Elishnorn, so now we know for sure. But it was released. I want to say like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, something
Yeah,
like that. Like
it
it
was a
was a
while
while
back.
ago now. Yeah, when that one was making the rounds on Twitter and Reddit, and it looked fairly convincing. Like like I had a moment where I was just like, man, did people really get their hands on this already? Huh. You know, it wasn't until a little while later, and I think I did see some content creators posting videos talking about that card.
They
You
did,
know,
yep.
they were
Yep.
out there. That was real, and you know, so it becomes weird. Like if these unofficial sources are getting their hands on all this product allegedly, can we trust it? Can we not? Like I also remember there was a leak with Theros Beyond Death where
Mhm.
somebody was claiming that they got a pack from like it was like Target or I think it might have even been like 7-Eleven or so like some weird general goods store. They got a pack like a month in advance or something crazy like that. It was before the spoilers had even been released. And they showed pictures of the cards. And at the time I completely and totally dismissed it. But Elspeth, what is it, Sun's Champion or Sun's
Yeah.
Nemesis? Elspeth
Sons
Sun's
them.
Nemesis was in that pack. Like
Yeah.
it's like okay, whether that was a plant or what, like whether that was like an official, like an unofficial official leak from Wizards or something, I have no idea. But the cards were real, you
They were.
know, 100%. Those were the real cards. Clearly, we know that, and in hindsight, no question. How like if the story is true or not, it really is irrelevant. They were previewing those cards before the official word came out. And I remember something similar happening with the Godzilla artwork as well. Like the Godzilla artwork in Ikoria was,
Yep.
you know, made the rounds on the internet, and it was the first time we'd seen anything like that. So like 90% of the internet was dismissing it. Like that's ridiculous. Those aren't official. There's absolutely no way. And it was like,
Ah, then
about that.
surprise.
Heads up, we got Godzilla now. And now we're at a point where somebody could post like, oh, this is you know, somebody could post a picture of like something with I don't know the snorks on it, and I'd just be like, yeah, okay, that's probably official. That's probably real because like Universes Beyond has gotten so um out there. Actually, I find it kind of
Yep.
funny how long it took to get Transformers, given that's an in-house Hasbro property. But
Yeah,
anyway.
that's a fair point, actually. I mean, I think along the lines the same of D&D, because, funny, like, on the
Hmm.
story of leaks, I don't know if you're on TikTok or not, Ham, but earlier last year, before Baldur's Gate was, like, officially released, there was this TikTok account that apparently was a worker of a distributor, like the printing press and packaging of the
Mm.
Baldur's Gate cards. He took packs, and this is what the TikTok account said. They said they took packs and they were opening them on TikTok like a month in advance, showcasing the foils and everything. And like they were like, "Yeah, I'll sell these packs." And like the account only existed for a week, and then it was just randomly deleted.
Hmm.
Like the strangest kind of thing, right? Like,
Sure.
was it real? Like the cards were actually real. Like they did line up.
Hmm.
They were official printings, but it's like, was that a plan? Was that a real thing? Does someone actually take those cards and is now potentially fired because of traceability and whatnot? But I don't know. The approaches of leaks, the way that leaks are done, it like you said, it affects where the information comes from and our ability to assess if something's real. Because like on the Elish Norn, Elish Norn was fake. People actually made videos about that Elish Norn though. That can affect the content creator's credibility. Like, oh, you made
Hmm.
a report about a fake card. Like that's damaging reputation.
Absolutely. Oh, and so the next time that content creator talks about a leak, you as the audience, do you trust them? You
Yeah.
know, and how do they present it? You know, because to say like, well, this picture's out there, if it's real, like, is that I don't know,
That's
is
like
that worth your time to invest in that kind of speculation?
I don't
You
like
know?
I don't think it is. Like I don't go to read a news article being like, well, maybe okay, what was it? In the news, they just apparently found the Temple of Osiris in the Nile, which is great.
Hmm.
That's awesome. But they were like
Okay.
there's some news articles that are like, oh my goodness, they found the sarcophagus of Ra. And it's like the article that posted that was falsifying information because what they found was a ceremonial like template of Ra, not
Oh.
and it's like, really like You're saying they found raw? Oh my god, no! What they found was a ceremonial portion, like spreading, like going out of your way to tell the half truth. That's the thing. Telling a half truth, and that further damages things going on. And leaks are just an easy cause to even further that agenda, not purposefully sometimes, but it can. Well, we even had the fake She-Holdred before Dominaria. You know, they had the mana cost and the stats right, but the ability was entirely wrong. And people were like, "Is
Right.
this the real She-Holdred?" Like,
You know, it's funny too. I love when some people are like, "Well, I bet the leak was correct, but Wizards must have changed it." It's like that's not how that works at all. I've heard that
close.
talk. I've heard that talking point a couple of times. And it's just like you're joking, right? Like because those cards to get in their processes. I'm not intimately aware of like Wizards processes, but I've worked at companies that manufacture goods. And like I know that like the plans, the product itself, and all the templates are locked in and then go to the plans for distribution or the printers in this case with weeks if not months in advance because then they need to be packaged up and then shipped out to all the distributors which then need to get it in the hands of the retailers before it goes live. So like we're talking about Phyrexia LB1 which is going to be coming out next month. I mean, at this point, it's January 6th. We have over a month before that set releases. And that set is, I mean, I bet I have no doubt they are done printing that product. And it
Oh
is
yeah,
it's on pallets in a warehouse, either at the distributor or at Wizards about to get released to the distributor, or distributors. I have no doubt that it's like so far up in the supply chain at this point. It's not even funny. So the
absolutely.
idea of a leak coming out like 3 or 4 months prior to a set being released, and then Wizards like scrambling to get ahead of the leak and like modifying a card, and then like presumably not playtesting with it at all to just like change the text and then send it out to the printer and hope for the best. It's silly. Like that idea is just absolutely silly.
Oh, let me go
They would
find
never
my
do that.
aluminum foil tin hat. Let me find the conspiracy. WotC
Right.
changes everything months before it actually is released and printed. They're gonna go through each
Right.
individual pack and know exactly which one has which.
It would be much smarter for WotC instead, to your point, if they are, and Wizards, okay, here's a little piece of consulting for you, totally free of charge, just putting it out there. If you want to get ahead of or get around leaks, create unofficial accounts that are no way tied to your brand. So nobody can track them whatsoever. And leak complete BS cards.
Yes.
Leak the fake stuff that didn't make the cut. Put that out into the universe. Let everybody speculate and theorize about that. And so while everybody's worried about that crap, the handful of legit leaks that are actually showing your product are going to get dismissed as being part of the noise. And so nobody's going to worry about it, and we'll all accept your release schedule as your spoiler schedule as fact because it doesn't make sense for us to follow everything else. Now, to be fair, I don't know if they've done that in the past. Like, who knows? Maybe it was a Wizards employee that released that bogus Shieldred. I don't know.
Maybe.
But like, I'm just saying that's one way to get around this. Just because that's the thing. If there's a noise that's bugging you, you can eliminate the cause of that noise in one way or another. And I think that's what people have been trying to do. Or you can add white noise around it to the point where you're just not hearing it anymore. And you can, or drown it out. That's another option.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that makes any logistic sense or if that is actually wise to do because there'd be a lot involved. But at the same time, I don't know. I imagine a couple of well-placed shaky camera shots on Reddit would get enough people thinking twice to and then when the sets roll around and they're nowhere, those cards are nowhere to be found. Um, people will think twice and second guess all spoilers moving forward. So I don't
100%.
know. Something like that would be worth it. Yeah, I
I
think.
I
Yeah.
agree it would be. And kind of what you actually just said, the shaky camera shots. Every spoiler picture I've ever seen is always a terrible camera shot. It's never clean, it's never pristine. Like, they're
Well,
taking their time. It's like, okay, what is this? Like Loch Ness monster hunting? Like, you're just gonna, oh my goodness, this wood plank totally looks like the monster in the behind. Like, the credibility of some of those photos really makes me question, like, A, either you don't clean your camera, or B, like, this is just something's fishy. Like, if I'm
yeah.
gonna take the
Well,
time for a spoiler, like, I'm gonna make it proper. Like,
Well, exactly. Yes, we're at a point. where the conventional camera that is on your phone right now, this isn't even a particularly good phone, but it does the job. Like it's
Mhm.
this is bottom of the line, but I can make calls, I can play games, I can do all the things I want. Um, I could take a photo, like I could take a selfie while while riding in the passenger seat going down the freeway at 70 miles an hour, and it's going to be in focus and look okay.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that whatever camera you're using cannot take a picture of a piece of cardboard sitting on a counter or a table? Come on, people.
Like,
Up your leak game. Come on, if you're going to do
seriously.
something wrong, do it right.
That's what I've said it before. I mean, mostly I say that about BM, but if you're gonna do something, you like put the effort in. Like, don't just be like, oh my goodness, this like half cock shot of like half blurry. What does this say? Like, this is a B. Oh my goodness, this must be the new Urbra spoiler. Urbra. Like, it's just
Like the power and toughness isn't even in the shot. It's like,
yeah.
guys, what the what is this?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so silly.
it is. Leaks are a whole other thing, but
Mhm.
yeah, you know what? Do it if you're gonna do it right, but hopefully don't do it, because it hurts. Leaks are,
Mhm.
unless it's from like WotC and it's a whole part of the plan and there's like a positive push, like then sure, I get it. But if you're a legitimate individual going out of your way to find new stuff and spoil it for everyone, don't. It ruins it. It's negative. And not to mention, if you are actually found, because there are confirmed cases of people getting cards early, and this is not to say I'm a legal expert, but this is my advice to anyone currently listening. There are confirmed cases of cards getting out in advance and individuals posting about those cards and those individuals being identified and then being pursued by legal action by WotC. It is a very real thing. It does happen and it costs them a lot of money per person. And they actually get barred from events and stuff. So, like,
Mm.
you hurt yourself. So,
Yeah, no, you
yeah,
definitely don't want that.
yeah,
That's
don't do
bad.
it.
Well, I've no doubt that's why we haven't seen more of it. Is because yeah, the people who have done it in the past got burnt probably really badly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know like WPN privileges have been revoked from stores that do it, that kind of thing. Because stores do get their hands on the cards physically earlier before everybody else because they need to actually have them ready to sell
They
on
do.
release day. But there's a trust there. There's a business relationship there. And yeah, if you do release any of that product early, if you sell any of it early, actually I think they probably do the spoiler timing in such a way that like all the cards have been probably released by the time like individual stores are getting their hands on singles
I
most of
think
the
so,
time.
yeah.
But still, in any event, like yeah, if you burn that relationship with Wizards, it's gonna hurt because if you're a retailer and you violate their trust, next time you go to place an order, how likely are they to actually honor it? Like that hurts. That's bad. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's all very interesting. But
Let's
at the same time, I can see from the community perspective, we're curious. We do want to
100%.
see the new. We are eager to get our hands on the new product. We're eager to see the new stuff. I get that. Oh, another point that I was thinking of:
Mhm.
Wizards actually does do kind of like teaser leaks nowadays that are very subtle that I think are freaking brilliant. And
Mm.
what they've been doing in recent videos that they posted to YouTube and streamed on Twitch, even they will do like an upcoming um they'll do like a little preview video where they get people online and to talk about or they'll get people together to talk about like the story of a set or discuss like what it was like to create a certain set. And they did one for Brothers War, for example, where they had, I believe, Lady Janger hosted it actually, and Sam from
Yes.
Ristic Studies was involved as well, which was awesome. They absolutely crushed it. We have two lovely content creators who've been hustling for years, getting represented, getting appreciation from Wizards. Awesome, kudos, good work. But throughout the course of those videos, they showed full artwork that had never been seen before, and below they showed the title of the piece. That was
Yeah,
how we
that's
found
right.
out. That was the first time we saw that Fauna Shaman was going to be getting a reprint. They showed the new art for Fauna Shaman, titled Fauna Shaman by I forget the artist's name, but like, and so everybody was like, "Holy crap, Fauna Shaman's going to get reprinted!" Like, there it was, sure enough. And they showed a picture of Urza's Tower. There's
Yes.
another one in the discussion. Everybody lost their damn mind, like, "Holy crap, Urza's Tower is going to get reprinted." Turns out Urza's Tower was not reprinted in Brothers War, but it was reprinted with that artwork, I believe, in
Yeah.
Jumpstart 2022.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
they
Jumpstart.
they didn't They didn't lie to anybody. They didn't tell us that Urza's Tower was going to be in Brothers War. They were talking about the story of Brothers War, and they were like, by the way, here's some new sweet Urza's Tower artwork. And that's all they said. And so yeah, we all freaked out and thought, holy crap, Urza's Tower, like the Urza lands are coming to Brothers War. Like Urza in standard, let's go. And like and Wizards, of course, was like, no, we're not giving you Urzatron in standard. Are you insane? Like, well, fair enough. But
But
yeah,
it would have been fine. We could have
it
had
would
a
have been
turn.
neat.
We could have had a turn 4 Phyrexian Flesh Gorger 7/5 Medicine Lifelink. Would have been
Yeah,
fine.
could you imagine? Could you imagine the Urza? I have no doubt they did playtesting with that, and we're like, haha, no.
I have to imagine because that had to cross the
Right.
mind because like the prototype mechanic like
Sure.
fits so well around that. Like, how would you not? And oh my goodness,
Well,
if
it's
the
funny. Yeah.
just
No,
like
sorry.
I was gonna say like if the Tron lands were actually in standard, that would make them in Pioneer, and we think Green Devotion's bad enough.
Oh no. Yeah,
Not
exactly.
happening, not happening.
Nope, nope. No, yeah, I have no doubt they attempted it, they thought about it, and then yeah, probably scrapped that idea. But they had the sweet new, I'm sure they had new. I don't know at what point development got cut. I'm all this is all speculation.
Yeah.
Because who knows if they actually seriously considered it? Like, who knows if there was a design doc with it? I just have a feeling somebody. I mean, there's no way they didn't talk about it because, like, thematically, they're Urza's facilities that he used to create war engines for the Brothers' War. Like flavorfully, it checks out. Um, but yeah, and so as a result, we all and they knew they could show that artwork and to get the whole community buzzing, and it did. Yeah, we all reacted. But at no point did anyone say Wizards told us we're getting, or the Urza lands in standard. Nobody said that, and they did actually. They did end up printing them into alchemy in a roundabout way, which is kind of fun. But
Yeah, that's true actually.
yeah, well, they also printed Power 9 into alchemy, so who knows? Like that's stuff can get goofy.
That's
That's the appeal of that format, right? Anyway, but yeah, so it's yeah, but in any event, I thought that's a clever marketing tactic that they've taken that is similar to leaks while being a little more covert, maybe a little tongue in cheek about it. And I appreciate that because they know what they're doing. Like they know that how we are going to react, and I think it's clever how to use that. And to be honest, Wizards marketing team has gotten so good at that. I want them to continue doing stuff like that, and leaks threaten it because if they have an idea for how to release a particular piece of information and a particular piece of flavor, I want to find out. I want to find out from them. I want to find out from the source.
100%. Because like, well, even when we got the jumping back on the Dominator United, like when that whole thing happened. Actually, you know what? Kamigawa. I'll use Kamigawa. Our first look at Kaito, the Planeswalker card, was in the Kamigawa trailer video that they showed, and it was segmented pieces that just randomly showed up, and you didn't spot it until you did like a still frame for frame shot and saw it in there. Subtle things like that are sweet, and I'm agreeing with you. I hope the marketing team keeps doing stuff like that because that's legit. When they sneak in a preview and they're like, "Did you catch this card?" And I'm like, "What card? Wasn't that just like neon lights flashing around that looks super cool?" And they're like, "No, that was Kaito."
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff is awesome. Yeah, I adore it. I gotta say too, just this is kind of apropos of little, but we're just talking about Neo. Looking back at the last year of Magic, Neon Dynasty has got to be like I know we talked about it already, but like just even the marketing around it. Like I put up a tweet saying my favorite film of 2022 was the Neon Dynasty like anime trailer.
Yes, the trailer was so good. Oh my god, Jin.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. No, Ginger Texas looking like a total badass. You got Kaito and the Wanderer. Like, even if you don't know these characters, you see, like, you get little snippets of them, as kids being together. And like, there's one shot where they're like, give each other a little pinky promise. Like, we have no idea what they
so
said,
cute.
but it's so adorable, right? Like, it's like, oh, these two kids really like each other, and then like, oh, that's like, and they showed Kaito being a grown up, like asking around, like going, like doing a little sleuthing, like, okay, that's you kind of pick up, oh, it's the same guy, okay, but wait, where did she go? And then when she shows up at the end, and there's this sequence, I'll never forget the shot where he's just like hugs her, and there are tears streaking down his eyes. Like every time I watch that, I'm just like, I'm not gonna cry, not gonna cry.
It hurts.
It's so good, man. It's like it's so well done. Like the music choice was just spot on, and it's just it works. Like and it's just such a cool thing. And on top of that, like Wizards has done a couple of other really cool cinematic trailers. Like we saw one for Dominaria, they did one for Brothers War. The Innistrad sets prior to that had like short films, like full on, like not messing around, like CG short films as trailers, which didn't really get a whole lot of love, but were really well done.
Extremely.
Like they actually, yeah, they have characters that you have emotional connection with. You know, like the little boy from the Midnight Hunt trailer. Like I don't really know his story. I don't know what the deal is, but that trailer is like I don't know 2 minutes long, and if that even, and it told a complete story with the beginning, middle, and end. And when the bad guy gets his comeuppance, you're just like, yeah, you totally deserve that, punk. Get out of here, you know? Like you feel good. You have those emotional responses in a very short period of time. Yeah. So the creative team over at Wizards is doing a phenomenal job with their marketing. And part of it is they know what emotional connection people have to the different characters. And these are characters that we've now been following for years in a lot of cases. You know, and even like Kaito and the Wanderer are an interesting choice because, or an interesting kind of snapshot because we only met them last year. Like, I mean, the Wanderer we saw in War of the Spark, but we didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
So she's kind of been around, but it was a little mysterious. Now we got a more backstory on her. Okay, cool. But like Kaito was brand new this last year. You know, prior, 2021, no one had any idea who Kaito was, except the people working at R&D, obviously. But
obviously, yeah.
they were familiar with him. But I don't know. And so the fact that we have this like story beat now in Phyrexia where they're included is interesting because like, oh, these are some of the new characters and they're already messing with them.
Literally, like half the new people that are gonna be in are just gonna be gone, and I'm like, I'm worried about who's gonna be completed. I'm like, I'm excited, but I'm worried. I know that's not on point, but like, I just
it's good. We can talk about this absolutely.
Like, don't touch Kaito and the Wanderer. Just let them be happy. They've been through enough. She gets sent all over the place because the reality chip's gone. Like, Rick Watson, give me an anime about Kamigawa and Neon Dynasty. Make it like 12 episodes. Give me an OVA. Just give me something.
Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing.
Right?
Yeah. I'd be so in, 100%.
Give me magic anime.
Like, I'm trying to. The little guy's name escapes me, but Kaito's little raccoon friend. Oh my goodness, how
so cute.
Yeah, the little like kami mech guy. Like that would be the cutest. Like I could totally see that as an anime like sidekick character. Like it'd be amazing. It's all the pieces are here, Watsy. Just make it happen. Yeah.
That's it. Just make it happen.
I don't know who was involved with that trailer, but just hire them again. They'll do fine, and just like make it happen. Like yeah. But actually, yeah, it's interesting too. We have these completed planeswalkers. I think they did a good job of like mixing the old and the new. Like there are some new characters and there are some older characters. Like Tyvar Kell from Call Time is in there. Like
yeah,
he's like okay, like Elven Surfer Muscle Dude is part of the mix. Like, do I really? I gotta be honest, straight up. I really don't care if he's completed or not. And I don't know if Wizards is aware of that, but I'm assuming they are. And so. I don't know. I didn't really feel attached to him. Like he seemed kind of naive for a planeswalker, and I found that a little endearing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just like I don't know. We'll see. But what I hope, to be honest, and the 10 that they've revealed, I hope they take a lot of the older characters that we've been following for a long time and take them out.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Give us some fresh.
I hope they rotate the cast a little bit. I think that'd be interesting. Because like right now, well, and they've done that they have done some of that in the past with like.
Well, they have. They just did that with Jaya.
I suppose they did. Yes. Oh man, and Jaya has cards dating back to like Tempest. Like, yeah.
She had a card in Dominaria, and she still got the beat. I mean, look at Xander. He had a one-time printing, and then he fell right off.
Yep. It's like, yeah, exactly. Well, and even during the spoiler season, it's like, man, Xander's in the set. That's really cool. By the way, they reprinted Murder. Oh.
Remember that? Oh, the memes are great.
They ran the Xander guy. Seems really cool. We got Demon Crime Boss, dude. Oh, wait, they killed him already. Dang it. That was a cool character. I wanted to see what they were doing with him. Nope, too bad.
Just wait till we go back to Capetta again.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, no, I hope they rotate the cast a little bit. They've been doing a lot of good work introducing new characters. The other thing that like I'm not really an expert in this at all, but one thing that I think is interesting, that I appreciate, that I hope WotC continues, is that the type of representation that they're giving in different characters is just better now than it used to
Agreed.
be, and I really appreciate that. Like for example, the name is now I'm now blanking on their name. I can't believe I'm blanking on their name. From the other Planeswalker from Call Time, that was a new
Oh,
introduction.
Kaya?
Not Kaya.
Not Kaya. Well, we had Tibble, we had Kaya, and we had Tyvar. Those were our
There was
3.
Tyvar. There was also the Azorius Planeswalker that drew you cards with the shards.
Oh,
I'm blanking on their name.
Nico.
Nico
But
Harris. Yes.
was Nico in Call Time? No, Nico was Nico in Call Time. No, you're right. Nico was in Call Time.
Yep.
You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, Nico is a really cool character. Yeah, Nico Harris. Yes, really cool character. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
They had a cool aesthetic in that like they're creating like these magical mirror shards that draw you cards, and the idea apparently in the story they were just like throwing them around all over the place with like projectile weapons, acting similar to javelins, and they had a backstory on Theros as like a gladiator and as a competitor in various like Olympics or Olympic
Yeah.
style games. So like
And
sweet, okay.
if I
Like
remember, sorry, I was just gonna say, like, story wise too. I think they were actually the first like non-binary character in MTG, because we know like Alicia who smiles at death, that is treated.
Yep.
They are transgender. We know that. Once I guess said that, and I believe Nico was like the first non-binary character. So like on the note of representation, like we are seeing much more versions of representation in different forms, which is great in a diverse card game. That is
Yeah.
fantasy based, because in a world as extensive as the multiverse, all of these types of people are gonna be there. There is gonna be nth degree of elves that are gonna be in different powers and forms, from like fire elves to green elves. I mean, I know we've seen some red mana elves, but not really. But planeswalkers have different effects, planeswalkers with different backstories, different personalities, different traits, things that define them, and they're exploring that, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think it too. Well, and Nico, it's kind of like arguable whether or not Nico was the first like transgender or not. Sorry, first non-binary character. Like that's something that people kind of discuss back and forth. But I love the
Oh, okay.
fact that they are unambiguously
Yes.
non-binary. There is no question. Meanwhile, like when Ashiok first came out, I remember a lot of people were like, "Hey, Magic has its first non-binary planeswalker," because in their style guide, I think it was Ashiok was cited as using they them pronouns.
I think you're
And so
right.
a
Yeah.
bunch of people were like, "Holy crap, they have a non-binary planeswalker!" And I was like, "What's all the fuss about?" It's like, really, the non-binary community gets the creepy smoke demon? Like that seems weird to me. Like, and to be fair, to Wizards' credit, they never like pushed. Like they never tried to like get brownie points for Ashiok being non-binary. I believe the idea was they wanted Ashiok to be mysterious
Yeah, I
and
think
to be
was
inhuman. And so that's what they were going for. And so if you were to assign a he or a she to Ashiok, it would make them just like ever so slightly more relatable, and they wanted Ashiok to be as far out there
right.
as possible. So like, okay, fine, and like they weren't trying to push it, but some people picked that narrative up, and it's like, ooh, that's weird. And so the fact that they responded by here's Nico, they are non-binary, like rock on. All right, so and they're human. They're not like there's nothing weird. There's no like this is a human person who does not identify, with either gender. Rock on, let's go. I love that. I think it's really cool.
Agreed.
And I want to see them do more stuff like that. I want that to become normal. I don't want that to be weird. And if they got rid of some of the older planeswalkers just to make room in the roster, because right now they have a ton. Planeswalkers are just
There's so
ubiquitous.
many.
They're
There's
just
so
all
many.
over the place right now. And just adding more. Well, and War of the Spark would have been a phenomenal opportunity to kind of, I don't know, it sounds weird to say it, but just cull the ranks of some of the old guard.
It would have,
Like,
yeah. Would have.
Jace got out of there alive. Chandra got out of there alive. Like Lily got out of there alive, despite like having a million story reasons why she probably should have bidded in there. Meaning no disrespect, I love Lily, but like, come on. Like, and Gideon, poor guy. Like, okay, they got rid of Gideon. Okay, that was an old character who's been around a lot. All right, fine. Like, Gideon, you had a good run. We can set you aside.
Yeah, but
That's
Dak
fine.
Faden. They killed
Dak.
that Dak.
Dak only had one card
What?
ever, and it was freaking from Conspiracy. Like, so they took this cool character with this weird backstory and a very unique aesthetic. Like, the red hand thing was super
Yeah.
neat. Like, he was just a cool dude that they never really explored. And they killed him in the trailer and in the book, so make it abundantly clear there was no question. And I think they killed him in different ways in both, so what
I
the hell
think
was
so,
that? But
yeah.
whatever. Anyway, whatever. But they killed him without ever really exploring the character. And all, like, what? Like, I don't know. It seemed like it was a massive missed opportunity, and they didn't even give him a card.
No, they didn't.
Like,
They straight up didn't. Like,
he was
I'm
a
sorry.
major plot point
Yeah.
in the story, and they didn't even give him a freaking card in the set.
And like Jaya gets a card in Dominaria and she doesn't make it out. Like Zant. Anyway, just
Right? Just, it doesn't make sense. I like
No.
justice for Dak. Hashtag justice for Dak.
bring
I'm
us
still,
Dak Faden back.
Yes. I'm still gonna. It's a situation where they could have killed a ton of different characters. Like, I mean, obviously we know what happened to him, but as Johnny would have, like, it would have made sense. He was part of the original Lowerman 5.
Yep.
Like, it would have made sense to kind of like rotate him out, you know, kind of retire him, if you will. And like, there are a lot of characters that could have gotten knocked out in Word of the Spark, and instead, like, and on top of that, they're printing more Planeswalker cards than ever. Like, in some of the supplemental, like, commander stuff, we just have all these new Planeswalkers showing up that like aren't in the story at all. Like, why aren't we investigating some of these characters and see what they're up to?
Yeah, let's see what
You
plans
know?
they're at and stuff. Like, future
Mhm.
sets and bring it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe those planeswalkers in the commander decks are early leaks to new sets coming. That's the foretelling.
I'm
But
curious. Do we know where Amanatu's from? Because I'm definitely intrigued.
I feel like we do, and there's actually
Okay.
a scary story with Amanatu because there's a reason why Amanatu doesn't get they don't involve Amanatu and stuff. 'Cause she can just quite literally make people not exist.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there is an actual legitimate reason why Amanatu has only been seen kind of once story wise, and why they don't the other walkers don't really bring her in. Because like as a young child with her abilities, she is just kind of able to make someone not be them. It's really scary actually. There's some cool lore on Amanatu.
Sweet. Okay, I need to look into her then, because that sounds awesome. Yeah, all powerful, like,
Yeah.
immortal child. Okay, I'm listening. Yeah.
It's a scary thing, but yeah, you know what? I guess
Mm.
kind of tying it in and everything, there are good leaks and there are bad leaks. There's some stuff you can pull from older sets to count as leaks moving forward. But let us know in the comments down below. What do you think? Are leaks good? Are leaks bad? Do you like leaks? Please don't post any leaks. I will delete the comment if there is leaks. Because
Yes.
don't.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Because we don't want to engage in the current leaks. But if you have opinions on them, please go ahead and share. Not like if the card leaked is good or bad. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the leaks for the health of the game.
Yes.
Or if you have any recipes that involve the vegetable leak, if you want to share those as well. I mean, I've done some like leek mashed potatoes in the past. Delicious.
Ooh.
Anyway, or some like leeks in soup is always a good time. Anyway,
That's very true. There you
It's
go.
neither here
Cooking
nor
recipes with Ham. We're gonna have a cooking stream next week. Fight Me Fridays is gonna be Cook Me Fridays.
yeah, okay, yes, cook with me Fridays. Let's do some. Yeah, no, so we still doing Fight Me Friday. Let's do. I'm trying to think like culinary Thursdays. That doesn't quite into it. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. Yes.
Well, Ham, my dude,
Good
where
stuff.
can the find people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hamhocks42. I also have a solo YouTube channel as well where I discuss individual cards, not the ones that are leaked, but ones that are officially spoiled, or just older ones that I think are interesting. So if you're wondering, hey, I wonder what Hamhocks feels about Aurochs from Ice Age, believe it or not, you can find that on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so that's that as well. Hamhocks42 is the same name in all the places. And yeah, I'm also on the Twitters at Hawks42. So yeah, Astros, where can people find you, good sir?
Yeah, y'all can find me at Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Astralsflame. New videos coming out usually weekly. I'm kind of doing the MTG deck tech and trying to get into the YouTube Shorts game, so there will be some Commander content coming out this coming week and some new MTG Arena Shorts. And I deliver you the same deck techs that have been going on, but I'm also going to give some shorts on some cool things you can run in removal that aren't black, and some other cards you should check out that are non-meta that might just define how you can play the game a bit better. Like Braids. You should play Braids.
Should, especially in Commander. Holy crap.
Yes. Oh my god, it's so good.
So good. It's
Draw
I'm
3 in the
sacrifice
stick.
yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice this blood token or this treasure. Oh, none of you have artifacts. Hey, neat. Everybody gets shocked. I'm gonna draw 3 cards real quick. Like,
I'm gonna play this mana vault. I'm gonna tap it. I'm gonna sack it. And it's like, I'll draw 3 cards. It's fine. It's great.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. She scales well. Braid scales very well.
Extremely well. The more players, the better. And speaking of the better, what's better is if you drop us a follow and subscribe to keep up to date on all the latest listings. The more friends we have, the better this community is going to be. And y'all know you love a cool community. So why not be a part of it and stay up to date? And with that, my friends, until our next listing, we are your landlords.